I know times like this, you just take it slow. Fall asleep in the pillows. She got my heart in a chokehold. And there she goes.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. This is Liquidity Club by Ahmed Shawi. Today is Sunday, the 17th of March 2024. I'll be doing the weekly market review starting with DXY. Here we have the weekly time frame chart, and you can see how we retraced after we broke down lower. A bit of retracement, leaving this fair value gap between this candle's low and this candle's high. We can potentially see price next week trade up, fill this fair value gap, potentially on Tuesday, make the high of the week, and on Wednesday, because we have FOMC interest rate announcements on Wednesday, we can see an expansion to the downside. Or else it can be consolidating Monday, Tuesday, and on Wednesday it can wick through it here. It can walk inside this fair value gap and just above it with the wicks can do the damage on FOMC, and the real move which will be happening at 2:30 New York time when Fitch Powell speaks, we'll see the real movement to the downside and an expansion to the downside, reaching to this fair value gap. So going to the daily time frame chart, we can see that we can see still potentially price fill this fair value gap, potentially fill it completely. There's still a small area in that fair value gap between this candle's low and this candle's high that's not yet filled. And you can look at the weekly fair value gap. We also have this bearish propulsion block. We have a bearish order block right there. Price hasn't traded to the mean threshold of that bearish order block, and it has broke down lower. This would be deemed as bearish propulsion block. So we can see price trade back to this bearish propulsion block, get some orders here, accumulate some orders, and then break down lower to attack the sell side liquidity and reach to the fair value gap right there. This is the weekly fair value gap. I'm looking at this as a drawn liquidity. And we can also have here, we have volume balance between this candle's close and this candle's open. There's a volume imbalance between those two levels. So we can see also price, look at this area right there. So I'm still looking, we're still in a sell program here on DXY. I'm looking for lower prices. And I think that's gonna be pretty much it for DXY. Going to ES, here I'm viewing the continuous contract and I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. Uh, Lately, indices aren't moving the way we want them to move. Since the beginning of the year, they were slow, and that's due to the holidays that are happening. And for the last 2 weeks, because of the contract switch from March to June, from ES for, let's say for ES, we were from ESH 2024 to ESM 2024. So the contract switch, those 2 weeks, we can expect some kind of weird price action in the markets. And this is what we've seen lately. I mean, the first week we had NFP, this week we had NFP, and last week we had CPI. So it's really normal to see this kind of price action. And we know that the accumulation, manipulation, distribution can be applied to any time frame since time is fractal. So it can be applied to the daily, it can be applied to the weekly, it can be applied to the monthly. Now, if it's the monthly, the first 1 to 2 weeks are going to be accumulation. We can see manipulation then and distribution. And we're seeing some kind of an accumulation here. We can see later on manipulation. Now, this manipulation can be strong by taking the highs or the lows, now depending if it wants to break down lower and start the sell program. But let's say we're in a buy program. Now, the manipulation can be strong and take out these lows, or it can be weak and be deemed with another asset class that would be its sister, such as NQ or DAO. This would be like a stronger sister because it wouldn't take out these lows, but NQ would take these lows. So there would be an SMT, and that SMT would be the manipulation. So NQ, let's say, no, actually NQ took out this low. So NQ is the SMT, no, NQ took these lows, which is the manipulation. SMT refused to take out these lows. I'll show you later on NQ how NQ took out these lows, but ES refused to take out these lows. So this can be considered as a manipulation in NQ, and in ES they don't need to take price down lower because they already have orders in ES that can send them higher, and they are in this, let's say, this market, they have more positions when compared to NQ and Dow. So this, we're just in the consolidation. There's nothing too crazy about it. So we're just monitoring price action, and we must understand in what times do we trade and what times we stay away from trading. So we can potentially expect some kind of good price action next week, and it will reveal to us more intel from price action that if it wants to continue running up higher, or if it wants to change the direction and the program to the sell program. Going to the daily time frame chart, you can see the same thing. We have consolidation and price just trying to post higher prices here. So in that consolidation, now we're just waiting for next week, Wednesday, FOMC. We can see potentially some movement, some manipulation, and potentially distribution. So at the moment, I have no real direction on where price is trying to reach to or is trying to go. So we're just leaving price to accumulate and do its thing. And later on, when it shows us its fingerprints, we will be executing based on what we see on the charts. But right now, this is not the best condition to be trading. This is not the high probability condition that you want to be trading at. So that's going to be pretty much it for ES. Going to NQ, here we have the continuous contract and we have the weekly time frame chart. Now, as I've mentioned on ES, you can see here these lows, previous week's two lows. We took these lows this week. So on CPI, we have created a lower low based on the last 2 weeks. Also, I want to mention that on ES we had a higher, an inside week, which means price didn't take out previous week's high and it didn't take out previous week's low. So it's still in the range. You can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. From Monday to Friday, that range is inside previous week's range, which means there's buy side liquidity built above this high and there's sell side liquidity built below these lows. But on NQ, we took out these lows. We still have these highs, by the way. So we're still monitoring how price is trying to move. If we're still in a buy program, this would be the weaker sister because it took out the lows. ES refused to take out these lows and still held up right there. So this is the same thing for NQ. We're in a consolidation. We're waiting, and we're gonna be seeing what will be happening next week after FOMC interest rate announcements and after Fitch Powell speaks. So we will be getting more intel from price that will make us able to deal with the charts and execute. So that's gonna be pretty much it for NQ. Going to Dow. Here I'm viewing the continuous contract and I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. As you can see, nothing to expect from Dow. We're still in consolidation. We want to see all of the indices moving in the same direction. We want to see them all in tandem with each other. So when ES is moving higher, we want to see NQ and Dow moving also higher. We don't see any weird price action between all of the three indices. You can see here on Dow, price didn't take out this high. So and we're still in the consolidation. So I'm still expecting more intel from price so that I can be executing based on the intel that I'm given. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be touching the indices until I've been given much intel, much information that I can be working with. So that's gonna be pretty much it for Dow. Going to Euro USD, also known as the fiber. Here I'm doing the weekly time frame chart. You can see we had a retracement last week. As a result, we created this small favor gap between this candle's high and this candle's low. Now, this can be used as a breakaway gap, and this can be just left unfilled. And price from here can run higher to attack the buy side liquidity. Now, this favor gap, which is draw liquidity between this candle's high, between this candle's low and this candle's high, and the buy side liquidity right there, and eventually this major buy side liquidity. So this can be left as a breakaway gap. Going to the daily time frame chart, you can see that we have a bullish propulsion block right there. We have a bullish order block. And price reacted to that bullish order block and to the fair value gap, the inverted fair value gap from the weekly time frame chart between this candle's low, this candle's high, reacted to that inverted fair value gap you can see right there, and reacted to bullish order block and created the bullish propulsion block. And now price is retracing to the bullish propulsion block. And from here, I'm expecting some movement to the upside to attack these highs and the supply side liquidity. And just above the supply side liquidity, we have the favorite gap that I just mentioned, and we have the buy side liquidity right there. So this is just a retracement to break up higher. We can also here expect a potential futuristic bullish breaker. We have a low, high, lower low, and if we break above this high, this would be deemed as a bullish breaker, excuse me. So we have a potential futuristic bullish breaker here after we break above this high, and it doesn't need to close above this high. The moment we get a confirmation, or the moment price just tick above this high and retraces a walk inside the bullish breaker, you can take some orders and you can put some orders on. It doesn't need to close above the high and then retrace to walk inside of it and then run up higher, because many times you wouldn't see that happening. Price would wick above it and then retrace, walk inside of it, and then later on just jam to the upside. It wouldn't be closing above it and then waiting and retracing to make sure that you are in the move. No, many times you won't see that happening. So still looking for high prices. We're still in buy program. That's gonna be pretty much it for Euro USD. Going to Pound USD, also known as the cable. Here I'm doing the weekly time frame chart. As you can see, price also retraced on Pound USD, creating the weekly fair value gap right there between this candle's high, this candle's low. Price can form the low of the week, the next week. It can form the low of the next week on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday it can just for on DXY, but can be diametrically opposed here on Pound USD and Euro USD. So we're still looking for high prices on pound. Going to the daily time frame chart, you can see from this low, high, higher low, higher high. Now these about 4 consecutive up close candles would be deemed as a bullish mitigation block, and price is working at the moment in that bullish mitigation block. And on the weekly it would be shown like this: low, high, higher low. It didn't take out these lows, and then took out this high. Now on on EU, it didn't take out even this high. So price did really form low, high, lower low compared to this low, and then suppose now on pound it took out this high, but on Euro USD it didn't take out this high, which means this is weaker. We have an SMT here between pound and Euro USD, which means Euro USD took out this low, which is a weaker pair, but Pound USD refused to take out this low. As you can see right there, it refused to take out these lows, and also it didn't reach the monthly fair value gap. So we can, in the future, we can see some, right now, we can see some sell program to the downside, take out these lows, walk inside the monthly fair value gap and the bullish order block, and then run up to the buy side liquidity. But right now, we're just looking for high prices, but that is a potential scenario happening in the market. We don't say that it's not possible and impossible to see that's happening, because it can potentially run down lower, take out these lows, walk inside the monthly level gap and the bullish order block, and then run up higher to the buy side liquidity. But since we're close to the buy side liquidity and we're in our way, I'm looking for higher prices and we're in a buy program. So with the bullish mitigation block, price walk inside the bullish mitigation block, we can see from here a reverse here. We can see price start to trade up higher to the buy side liquidity right there. Just above the buy side liquidity, we have the refined fair value gap, daily fair value gap, and we have the major buy side liquidity right there. So I believe that's gonna be pretty much it for this weekly review. I just wanna note that next week on Wednesday, the 20th of March 2024, we have an FOMC interest rate announcements at 2 p.m. New York time, and at 2:30 we have Fitch Powell speaks. So he'll be speaking. That would be really important because the markets are gonna be very volatile at that time of the day. So I really hope you found this one insightful. Until I talk to you next time, be safe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.